Hi guys, now in this video today I'm going to be running through a supine hip external rotation dynamic isometric using the band as resistance. So you'll be lying on your floor for this, but before I demonstrate and run you through the exercise, understanding the dynamic isometric, the intent is to kind of move out of conventional movement patterns or challenge, say, the hip in this particular area that we're targeting. So it being external rotation, it's this movement. So what I want to do is going to be a slow eccentric, think from A slowly to point B, but during that time I'm not just going to focus on this linear movement at all. I'm going to treat this as a slow rep, but I'm going to change things for this joint while it's being biased in this position. So I can play with rotation of the knee, I can play with opening and closing the knee in combination with also the rotation. I can also use hip abduction, adduction, so moving in and out. Okay, and all of these can be done in combination. Whilst I'm playing with all those movements, I'm still fighting throughout the whole time to keep external rotation of the hip, meaning I'm trying to avoid this specific movement coming from my hip to give up with ease, but actually it's like a slow resistance that I'm easing off with that. You will need two bands. So one band I'm attaching to a post, something that won't move. Another band is going to allow me to control the resistance. I want to lie on my back, set myself up at a bit of an angle. So I've got this band pulling myself in this direction, or pulling my ankle or hip in that direction, which is bringing it into internal rotation. I want to hold the opposite, external rotation, so I've got to try and hold this direction against the resistance of the band. So as I lie down onto my back, before I get started, I want to make sure that from about here I feel a little pull on the band. Not a great deal, but just a bit. So I adjust as needed, okay? And then from here, the other band I'm going to hook over the ankle as well, get a short grip over this band, lie back down, and then pull the hip into external rotation. Now before I start, what I'm going to do is give a little slack from the band I'm holding to the point that I feel a little bite of where my hip is being pulled internally with the resistance of that red band. And then when I hit that spot, I'm then going to play with those movements. I could be here and just play with rotating the knee. I could play with just opening the knee. Here I will just have to move my arms with the band. Still always thinking about holding external rotation, so I'm not allowing the band just to pull me straight back over there. I can play with pulling my knee in, taking it out. Start to think about doing these things in combination. So opening up my knee, rotating the knee in one way, rotating it the other way, closing it, maybe taking the knee out to the side a bit more, trying to do the same here, bringing it in. Plenty of variations to explore. As I'm starting to fatigue, you notice my hip is gradually getting into more internal rotation, which is what we also want. Like a tug-of-war battle, I do want this red band to gradually win. But throughout the movement, I'm constantly fighting to resist the band, fighting to hold external rotation, but also moving into as many areas as possible. And you'll notice I'm taking my time moving. I'm also trying to assess areas that might feel slightly weaker, exploring how much strength I have there, asking myself other questions. Do I want to build more strength there? And then once you feel that you get to your end, you can either reset for another rep, okay, and then repeat exactly the same thing. Or you may feel that if that one rep was tiring enough, it was a lot of time and attention for what you were aiming, then that could be your set.